How strong and how bad do you want what you want? Because you keep telling me and you keep saying that you want to be great. You keep saying you want to get the promotion. You keep saying you want to be the best leader you could be for your team. You keep saying you want to be the best executive, the best manager, the best teacher, the best professional. You keep telling me how professional you are and the different strategies you have and what you're doing in your business and in your company and how everyone enjoys working with you. But all of a sudden, those personal debates happen and your vision goes to crap. All of a sudden, every negative thing that's happening in your life, you get to complaining and you stop contributing. What I want to do over the next 10 or so minutes, I'm going to break down how you can boldly debate without damaging your reputation. And so what I want to dive in today is, again, I want to get into the debate, right? I want to get into the debate. But I really want to get into the debate of your personal life. And so we know that a debate is an argument, right? It's really an agitation. Two people or two things are agitating each other with differing opinions or views. It's a match, right? But there are certain things that you got to have to make a debate. All right. And so we'll deal with these. But we know that a debate is an opposing argument with opposing viewpoints. Opposing arguments with opposing viewpoints. You got to have logical consistency. You also have to have factual accuracy and emotional appeal to the audience. You need those things. You need logical consistency. You need factual accuracy. And you also need emotional appeal to the audience for it to be considered a debate. But we do know that it's opposing views. That means you're just on two different sides, two different perspectives. And I really want to dive into the first, which is usually you versus the problem. There's going to be you, and then there's going to be a problem, and there's going to be a debate between you and the problem. Now, usually these are unexpected challenges that have a long-term impact. And so the debate is always going to be against the initial problem, the unexpected challenge, and then also the impact that it's had on your life. So the aftermath of whatever that initial challenge was. And so from a professional standpoint, most of the time, we can't produce and stay productive the way that we have been or the way that we started out is because of something that happened on the outside, something that was unexpected or uncontrollable, something that made us extremely uncomfortable. And so this long-term effect of these things on the outside that's happening personally can be brought in professionally and destroy and tear down and win the debate on that side. As a matter of fact, a lot of the problems professionally and personally will cut you off, will get loud, will be disrespectful to you to get you to back down, right? And so when you're debating and going through, I want to give you some tools on how to be boldly, like how to debate boldly without ruining your reputation. Because if a problem comes up and you start responding the wrong way, it could make the problem 10 times worse than it initially was. So there's always that first debate, which is you versus the problem. And then there's you versus the people, which are generally unhelpful people with their opinions. You cannot invest too much time, too much focus, or too much energy in the opinions of other people. You have to learn to master the art of not responding to critics without credentials. You have to master the art of not responding to critics without credentials. Those people who do not have the credentials, the say so, they don't have the keys to get inside of your position, your platform, and your mind. So what they're saying does not matter. Master the art of not responding to critics without some opinion, like they just don't matter. Unhelpful people and their opinions, that's going to be a debate. Because the majority of things that we do and the majority of things and how we respond is based on what we think other people will say. Generally, the problems that we have, both personally and professionally, are not as big as we think. It's just the fact that people will see them happening to us that we start to consider how bad it probably is. What are people going to say? What does this look like? What if people know? What if people find out? What if people find out I got fired? What if people find out I got let go? What if people find out that I wasn't up to speed on this new deal? What if people find out I was the person that forgot to put that zero on the end of the account? What if people find out and all of a sudden that problem goes from being something that could be managed to something that will get you disqualified and get you pushed out? Okay. And then the third debate that you're going to encounter. All right. You versus the person. And this is probably the most important one, is you versus you. The undisciplined you and your voice. This is the loudest, most dysfunctional. This is the debate that generally is going to get you to lose your sleep. This is the one that's going to get you to walk away from your dreams, walk away from your job, walk away from your relationship. This is the debate that keeps you from asking for help. This is the debate that keeps you stuck when it's you versus you. Well, those podiums are empty, and then you versus you. The undisciplined you, the one that is overly emotional, the one that reacts a little bit too much, the one that's concerned with what other people say, the one that's allowing the problems to bog them down. That debate, that person is screaming as loud as they possibly can. I mean, it's the I can't, right? On one side of the debate versus I can. It's I won't versus I will. It's I'm not versus I am. We talk a lot about I am statements. I am strong. I am capable, right? I am the person for this position. So these I ams versus I can't. And then the team side of it is we aren't versus we are. We don't have versus what we do have. And so when these debates are going on in your own mind, trust all this is happening in your mind, okay? And I mentioned it earlier, you got to make sure you have a moderator, and make sure that the moderator, in this particular case, we don't want somebody that's neutral. We want somebody that's for you, somebody that's on your side. But we also want someone that's giving you truth, right? We want somebody that's giving you truth. So let me get into exactly what I want. But before we do that, let me give you this gem. I want you guys to write this down, all right? Write this down, okay? Screenshot it, whatever you want to do. See, in political debates, outcomes are decided by the votes. In personal debates, outcomes are determined by your vision. In political debates, outcomes are decided by the votes. In personal debates, outcomes are determined by your vision. Now, before I go to my very, very last piece, because I got about 3 or so more minutes left, the outcome on personal debates are determined by your vision. By your vision. Now, how strong and how bad do you want what you want? Because you keep telling me and you keep saying that you want to be great. You keep saying you want to get the promotion. You keep saying you want to be the best leader you could be for your team. You keep saying you want to be the best executive, the best manager, the best teacher, the best professional. You keep telling me how professional you are and the different strategies you have and what you're doing in your business and in your company and how everyone enjoys working with you. But all of a sudden, those personal debates happen and your vision goes to crap. All of a sudden, every negative thing that's happening in your life, you get to complaining and you stop contributing. How big is your vision? Because based on what you can see, based on where you want to go is going to dictate that outcome of those personal debates. I knew that I wanted to be able to use my position to make a difference, right? I wanted to use my position to help reposition those in need. Now that covers a wide spectrum. We started out with outreach, and now all of a sudden we're in professional development, working in corporate America and making a difference, right? We're doing a lot of different things right now. But the vision was so big, it was greater than everything that the other undisciplined side of me was saying. You need to quit. You need to throw in the towel. You need to get into that spiral of depression. That's where that comes from, okay? So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. Now, as we close, I'm going to get to exactly what I promised, all right? I wasn't giving you some bad things. Go ahead and screenshot it. Do whatever you got to do. All right, do whatever you got to do. How to boldly debate without damaging your reputation. All right, here we go. How to boldly debate without damaging your reputation. Number one, I need you to listen. I need you to learn, and then I need you to lift. Okay, here's a fact. You will only be attacked in the areas that you are weakest. No one ever attacks somebody in the areas that they're strong, but you will only be attacked in the areas where you're weakest. So the debate in your mind is going to go against an area where you need to start to listen. You can listen a little bit to what they're saying. You need to find out where you're weak. What better way to learn how to grow than to listen to the comments of the problem, the comments of the people, the comments of yourself? What better way to grow? They did a scouting report on you. Who knows you better than you? And so when these things are going on, you need to listen. Absolutely, that's hurtful. Absolutely, that was terrible. Absolutely, I dropped the ball there, which means I have an area where I can learn from. And now I need to lift and get stronger. I need to lift and get stronger. Number two, all right, you don't have a full 2 minutes. The clock has already started. You may not have the time that you think you have. Now, that's real. 57 million people die on this earth every single year. 4.7 million people a month. 160,000 a day, 6,600 an hour. 110 people pass every minute and 2 people die every second. And you get a chance to be here. You're here right now, but it's not guaranteed you'll be here tomorrow. You don't get the full 2 minutes to talk. You don't have the time that you think you have. So when you're having these interpersonal and these personal debates, you don't have time to deal with the undisciplined side. You got a vision. You got to be great. You don't have the time that you have. You don't got the full 2 minutes. The clock already started. You're not going to get to finish. You're going to get interrupted. It's going to happen, right? But when you have the opportunity, you got to make the decisions that you got to make, and make sure when you use your time, use it extremely wisely. Use it wisely. And then last but not least, before we get off, one of my favorite statements, at least for this month, it's not about you. It's not about you. Your adversaries are watching, right? You can always tell who's for you. Just people just looking and watching. You're not for me. You're not for me, right? Your adversaries are watching, but your audience is waiting. Your audience, the people that you were called to be able to help and to be able to make better when you got elevated to the position that you're in right now. I don't care if you're at the very bottom. There is a certain amount of people that are waiting for you to ascend to the level that you're supposed to be at. We keep talking about so much change. People want change in their job. People want change in their family, right? You got to start somewhere, but people are waiting for you to get out of this debate phase and to become and ascend to the leader that you want to become. They're waiting on you because nobody else is going to get what they're supposed to get unless it comes from you. So your audience, yes, your audience is waiting. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. Okay. And that's how you debate. That's how you boldly debate without ruining your reputation. It's so simple. Number one, listen, learn, and live. Love it. Love it when you get negative things that's happening. Learn from it. Number two, obviously you don't have all the time that you think you have. And then number three, it's not about you. All right. You implement those 3 things and have that mindset moving forward, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what you're debating against. All right. You will come out on top.